Welcome to the Mary Potter Podcast. Ready for another magical probe into the world of flash fiction? We're diving deep into wild tales of magic and creatures, like, those fantasy films and epic series you love. And you guys sent in some awesome stories. This week, you really got us thinking about how magic might have been woven into, well, actual history.
Ooh, that's a good one. I love when people blend history and magic.
Right. We've got the Pirate Queen's Curse and the Witch of the Revolution. Both really intriguing looks at how history could have had a little, or maybe a lot, of magic sprinkled in. Let's start with the journey on the high seas, shall we?
I'm all for it, especially since, stories that blend history and magic, they can really shine a light on how people saw these famous figures and the world they lived in.
Totally agree. Our first stop is the Pirate Queen's Curse, all about the one and only Grace O'Malley. The story's got everything. Pirate Queen, magic, storms, battles with the English Navy, even a family curse she's trying to break. It's just, well, wow.
Talk about an epic mix.
Right. And from the very beginning, you see how deeply Grace is connected to the sea. It's not just her job. It's like a part of her soul. Remember that line about her hearing the sea's voice even before she could walk?
It's so powerful. It makes you realize that she's not just some rebel. She's like a force of nature. And the way they describe her with hair the color of storm clouds and eyes like the green depths of the unforgiving ocean, it's all just so vivid.
Exactly. It adds to this whole legendary, almost mythical vibe she's got going on. Makes you wonder how much of that is real and how much is, storytelling embellishment. Like, did the priests really call her cursed? Or the English label her a savage?
Well, history is written by the winners, right? And Grace, she definitely challenged those in power. So it makes sense that they'd try to, paint her in a negative light. Happens all the time. It's how those in charge try to discredit those who, well, shake things up.
True that. But in this story, there's no denying her power, especially at sea. Remember the line, with a blade in her fist and the wind at her back, she was more powerful than any king. So awesome.
Totally. And that's where her magic shines. Not just sailing skills, but actual control over the elements, The way she's described singing to the wind, calling up these massive rogue waves to take down English warships. It's just so cool. Like, forget cannon, she's got the ocean itself on her side.
Right. Imagine being an English captain, used to fighting other ships, and suddenly you're facing a storm that feels targeted.
Yeah.
The story even talks about how they looked at Grace with superstitious fear because they couldn't explain it.
It's a clash of worldviews, isn't it? Like traditional warfare versus the raw, unpredictable power of nature. And Grace is right there in the middle, bridging the gap. And, it kind of makes you think about how people across history have always seen nature as something with a will of its own, something powerful, and sometimes even, alive.
Definitely. And then the story just throws this huge curveball. The English capture her son and say if she wants him back, she's got to give up the rebellion. Talk about upping the stakes. We go from these grand sea battles to this really personal, heart-wrenching struggle.
Totally. It shows that even this larger-than-life pirate queen is still, at her core, a mother. Like, that fierce protective instinct takes over everything. It's a good reminder that even the most powerful people, they're still driven by, those deep human emotions.
Absolutely. And her reaction, she doesn't give in. She sails straight into the enemy fleet. That's like next level defiance. And then the magic, it just explodes.
Seriously, the description of that battle is intense. Lightning forked not from the clouds, but from the waves themselves. That's just, wow. It shows just how in tune she is with the ocean, like she's drawing power directly from it. And then there's that line about the massacre painted by stormlight. Chilling, yet also so poetic, it's almost mythical.
I know, right? And her son is freed, the English ships are destroyed.
Yeah.
It feels almost inevitable, like the natural consequence of, messing with the storm witch. But the story doesn't end there. There's a bigger theme running through it all.
That a mother's love, it can conquer anything, like curses, armies, even political power. It's tapping into something, primal, something we all understand.
And the final line about the O'Malley name living on and the sea's song never ending. It's like her spirit, her power, becomes a part of the ocean itself.
Wow.
Okay, ready for a complete change of scenery? Let's trade the open sea for the glittering halls of Versailles.
Sounds good. From the raw power of the sea to, maybe a more hidden, subtle kind of magic. I'm ready.
Great. Our second story is The Witch of the Revolution. And yeah, you guessed it, it's about Marie Antoinette. But with a twist. This time, she's secretly a witch, using her magic to try and, save the monarchy during the French Revolution.
Okay, that's just brilliant. It takes this queen we think we know and flips the script completely. We often hear about her as frivolous and out of touch, but here she's got this whole secret history, this connection to an ancient magical bloodline.
Right. And the story implies that she didn't just see the revolution coming because of, politics. She felt it magically, like the wards around Versailles, the magical protections, they were weakening.
Oh, I like that. It's like there's this hidden world of magic, this whole system that's just as important as the political stuff. It makes you think about, like, how magic might play a role in the rise and fall of empires.
Makes you wonder. Okay, so the story shows her using magic in all these subtle ways,
Hmm.
like hiding battle strategies in waltzes, using her ladies-in-waiting as seers and protectors. She even puts charms on Louis's quill.
It's so clever. She's actively trying to protect her realm, but nobody even knows. Most of the court, maybe even Louis himself, they're completely in the dark. It really changes how you see her.
It does, and then there's the part where she's teaching her children the old ways, passing on this secret knowledge. It's a really interesting layer to her character. But then things get really intense. The revolution itself, it's not just people. It's like there's this unknown magic fueling the revolutionaries, attacking the wards of Versailles directly.
Whoa, okay, that's a game changer. It adds this whole other level of complexity to the revolution. Like, maybe it wasn't just politics and economics. Maybe there were magical forces, stirring the pot. Makes you think about how easily emotions can be manipulated, especially during times of big change.
Exactly. So the palace, it basically becomes a fortress. And Marie Antoinette, she steps up, summoning forgotten guardians to defend it. We're not talking about regular guards here, but something, well, ancient and powerful.
It turns this historical event into something almost supernatural. Like the fate of France is hanging in the balance, not just politically, but magically.
And then there's the escape. No desperate flight to Varennes in this version. Nope, she uses a secret portal and what's left behind. Warped wards, confusing mirrors, a melody that plays itself. It's like she left a little magical chaos in her wake.
Oh, I love that detail. It's like even though she's gone, her magic is still there, resisting. It makes the story so much more unsettling, like there's something deeper, maybe even darker going on than we realize.
Definitely adds an eerie vibe. So even in exile, she doesn't give up. She finds this whole network of other magic users.
Yeah.
Hedge witches, an astrologer, even a kitchen maid. It's this small band of, well, magical resistance fighters against the revolutionaries and their own weaponized witch.
It's like magic isn't just for royalty, it's everywhere, in every corner of society. And these people, they're fighting for what they believe in, just like the revolutionaries. It shows that power, especially magical power, doesn't always belong to those in charge.
Such a good point. So their battles, they're not big, flashy affairs. It's all very subtle. Dreams and whispers, undermining morale. Meanwhile, Louis is desperately searching for ancient knowledge, hoping to find some magical advantage. It's like a whole secret war happening alongside the real one.
Adds this layer of mystery to, like, everything.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, did magic really play a role in the French Revolution? It's a what-if scenario, but it makes you re-examine history, see things in a new light.
Totally. And then the Terror comes, with Robespierre in charge. And Marie Antoinette, well, she doesn't back down. In fact, she becomes even more determined. And eventually, things start to shift. Robespierre falls from power. And the story suggests it's because of her and her network, weakening him from the shadows.
So cool. It's like a supernatural explanation for a really complex event. It's a reminder that there might be things, forces that we can't see that shape our destiny, for better or worse.
And the story ends with Robespierre's fall, but with this emphasis on the hidden magical influence behind it. The Bourbons don't get the throne back in this version, but magic survives, thanks to Marie Antoinette. It's a bittersweet ending, but definitely powerful.
It leaves you with this feeling that, like, there are hidden histories all around us, secret stories that we might never fully uncover. And that's both exciting and, a little bit spooky.
So we've explored two completely different stories. Grace O'Malley, the pirate queen commanding the sea, and Marie Antoinette using subtle magic to try and change the course of history. Both powerful women facing huge challenges and using their unique abilities to fight back.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. It makes you think about how, despite their differences, both Grace and Marie Antoinette were resisting powerful forces, using what they had, whether it was storms or subtle spells, to protect what they believed in.
Exactly. And it's interesting how both stories put women in charge, not just politically, but magically as well,
Yeah.
in times when women didn't often have that kind of authority. What do you think that says about, why these stories are so appealing?
Maybe it's because we're drawn to strong women who defy expectations, who break the mold. And by adding magic, it's like Their power, their resilience, it gets amplified, makes them even more inspiring.
I like that. It's like a big what if for history. What if magic was real? How would it have changed things? It's a fun thought experiment.
And it reminds us that history itself is a story. And we can tell that story in different ways using different lenses. Sometimes those lenses can be magical.
So true. So to everyone listening, dive into the real stories of Grace O'Malley and Marie Antoinette. See how these magical versions make you think differently about their lives and their times. And hey, what other historical figures do you think would make for awesome magical stories?
It's a great question. Exploring those intersections, history and magic, it can really open your mind. New perspectives, new possibilities, it's all there waiting to be discovered.
So that's our magical prode for this week. Keep sending in those amazing flash fiction stories. We love reading them. And don't forget to rate and follow the Mary Potter podcast for more captivating stories from the wizarding world of flash fiction. Until next time.